Avoid this costly mistake that a lot of retirees make in the first couple of years of being retired. For most people retiring, their highest earnings years are the years stepping right into retirement. After they retire, they find themselves in a situation where they may not pay any taxes at all because their income drops effectively to zero. That sounds well and good, but it's leaving an opportunity to be able to minimize your taxes over the course of your retirement. In this example, I'm going to show you a couple who's recently retired, who has the opportunity to be able to pay zero taxes, but is leaving money on the table. So let's dig in. So in this case, we're going to take a look at John and Sally. They retired at the beginning of part of this year. John is Medicare eligible at age 65, and Sally is at age 63, so has a little bit of time to go before Medicare kicks in. So she's going to need to pay for private health insurance until that time. They have $2.4 million between the two of them in IRA accounts, and they've set aside $200,000 in a brokerage account, which is mainly money markets. They want to be able to pay the roughly $8,000 per month expenses for the first 2 years before accessing their IRAs, and it also gives them an opportunity to delay claiming Social Security. So the only income that they're anticipating having in year 2025 is the interest that the money market makes. So we take a look at their tax scenario. Since they have no other sources of income, that $5,000 is it. And as you would expect, it's going to be a zero tax situation with respect to federal taxes. Now, depending upon the state that they reside in, there could be some state taxes. But for this example, we're just taking a look at federal taxes. The thing that they're leaving on the table, however, is that this year, because John is age 65, their standard deduction is $31,600, but they're only using $5,000 of it, which means they're foregoing $26,600 worth of a standard deduction. That's not something that they can carry forward with them into the future. If you don't use your standard deduction, you lose your standard deduction. So at minimum, what Sally and John can do to still stay in that zero tax scenario is that they could convert to a Roth $26,600 and not pay any taxes on it. So let's take a look at what that scenario would look like. So they're just simply using their standard deduction and, no surprise, not paying any tax dollars. Now, no matter what tax regime may happen in the future, 0% is 0%. Doesn't go any lower than that. So from that perspective, this is able to save them taxes on $26,600 for the rest of their lives. So from that perspective, let's just take a look at how it is that it affects their tax situation. Well, there we go. We've matched the standard deduction, zero taxable income. Here's where it does affect things. So let's just take a look at, like we had said in the beginning, Sally needs to be on private health insurance until she's Medicare eligible. That's a cost. So if we use the U.S. average, and what this calculator is the Kaiser Family Foundation. It's a great calculator to give a good ballpark estimate as to what an average silver health plan would look like. So I'm utilizing the U.S. average. I happen to be in Saratoga County in the state of New York, but we're using the U.S. average. And let's say the adjusted gross income from our prior slide is $31,600. How much would she potentially pay for a monthly plan? And in this case, it's about $60, so relatively low. So even with some additional planning, what John and Sally can consider is, what would their budget be? How much of their $8,000 are they willing to spend on a silver plan, or how much healthcare do they need to purchase to make sure that they're covered well? And then from there, they could even do more if they wanted to and pay a little bit more in the way of taxes on the Roth conversion, but pay it at effective rates that they'll probably never see again over the course of their life. So in this case, utilizing to the fullest the standard deduction is an important step to be able to make sure that you're maximizing your tax efficiency. If you liked what you saw in this video and you want to learn more about how it is that you can maximize your income and lower your lifetime tax bill over the course of your retirement, visit me on my website. You can even schedule a complimentary consultation on ways, methods, and strategies that you could think about doing this for yourself.